Hello everyone, in this video we will discuss some of the important literary devices used by almost all writers. Literary devices refer to the techniques, style, and formatting used by writers to emphasize or strengthen their compositions. Today we will discuss similes, metaphors, and various different types of imagery. Similes are comparisons using like or as with the purpose of emphasizing a certain aspect of one object by comparing it to another. In the image drawn here, the simile used is her smile is as bright as the sun, or her smile is bright like the sun. In both cases, the simile is used to compare the girl's smile to the brightness of the sun. A metaphor is a common figure of speech that makes a comparison by directly relating one thing to another unrelated thing. Like other forms of comparison, metaphors add powerful detail to your writing. By bringing in sensory details in the form of metaphors, you can make your words more interesting and real, and help the readers imagine and even feel a scene or character. Metaphors emphasize a specific quality of an object or action by assuming it to be another object. Take for example, she is the apple of my eye. Clearly, we don't mean this literally, as it would be impossible to have an apple as an eye. If you say that someone is the apple of your eye, you mean that they are very important to you and you are extremely fond of them. A simile, also called analogy, is very similar to a metaphor. So similar, in fact, that they're often confused. But there is a key difference between them. Similes use explicit comparative language, such as like or as, to show a relationship between two things, often in the form of A is like B, or A is as insert adjective or adverb as B. In this way, similes can be literally true, whereas a metaphor is not literally true. For example, a metaphor would be, she was a wildfire of rage, whereas a simile would be, in her rage, she was as angry as a wildfire. Visual imagery describes what we see. It involves constructing mental images when learning new information in order to be able to better visualize and recall the information later. The night was black as ever, but bright stars lit up the sky in beautiful constellations that were sprinkled across the landscape. In this example, the experience of the night sky is described in depth with color, shape, and pattern. Auditory imagery describes what we hear, from music to noise to pure silence. It may include enjoyable sounds, such as beautiful music, the sound of birds, and the voices of a chorus, or unpleasant sounds like loud noises, crying, and squeaking. It can also describe the lack of noise, representing a peaceful, calm, or eerie silence. In the example here, silence was broken by the pale sound of piano keys as Shannon began practicing her concerto. Auditory imagery breaks silence with the beautiful sound of piano keys. Olfactory imagery pertains to odors, aromas, and scents. When writers use this type of imagery, they craft their words to appeal to our sense of smell, so that we can almost smell what they are talking about. In the example, the sweet smell of freshly baked chocolate chip cookies filled the room. The scent of the cookies helps describe a scene and reminds the reader of the smell of chocolate chip cookies. Gustatory imagery pertains to flavors or the sense of taste. Some examples include sweetness, saltiness, sourness, and spiciness. An example of gustatory imagery is, one bite of the sour lemon caused his lips to pucker. Due to the description of the common sour taste, the reader is almost able to feel the lemon in their mouths. When writers use tactile imagery, they are describing something by focusing on the aspects that the reader could feel or touch. The sharp edge of the paper cut my finger and made it sting. In this example, imagery is used to describe the feeling of a paper cut and the feeling after. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and at the same time learned something new. Use these literary devices in your essays in order to impress your teachers and bolster your scores. Also let us know in the comments down below what terms would you like us to do next. Thank you for watching and see you next time.